Okay, so here we are, another week, another recipe. We're making a calzone today, something I was in the mood for, so I figured I'd show you guys exactly how to make it, or exactly how I make mine. If you've never made one before and you've seen them and you're wondering how to make it, well, here we go. We're going to show you exactly how to make a calzone, a very, very delicious calzone. Now, before we get started, use good ingredients for this. There's not a lot of ingredients going on here, so if you guys can afford to do that, use great cheese, some really, really good stuff, if you can. If not, it's still going to come out good, but sometimes when you use different cheeses, it's a little bit richer, a little bit more creamier, so that's kind of what I try to go for when there's limited ingredients. All right, so, well, rundown. Here we go with the ingredients. All right, I got a half a pound of whole milk mozzarella that I just got done grating. Got some Parmesan Reggiano up here again that I just got done grating. We got a little bit of vegetable oil. We're just going to use this to coat the bottom of the pan so it gets a nice crust on it. We have some pizza dough here that I got from a local pizzeria. I know you guys leave comments, you know, that you want me to do a pizza dough recipe. I promise you I'll do a pizza recipe. It's just sometimes I'm a little pressed for time when I shoot these recipes, and just, you know, the way my schedule is, life, right? You know, we're all busy. So I stop at a local pizzeria that makes this daily, and that's what we do. Probably no different than I would make it, actually. All right, so that's the deal with this. Now, we do have about 13 ounces, so this recipe is going to call for 13 ounces to 16 ounces for a pound of bread dough. And you can make this as big or small. We'll get into that just in a little bit. We got some pepperoni, but you can add whatever you want to this. You want to do sausage, pepperoni, anything you want to put in it, basically clean out the refrigerator type thing. All right, we have some ricotta cheese. What do we got? 15 ounces, I think. Yep, 15-ounce container. Just because I'm making one, that's the only reason why I got a small container. And we got some fresh parsley that I chopped up this morning. That's it. That is what this recipe calls for. It'd be a great time right now to preheat your oven to 425 and make sure that your oven rack, you have one of your oven racks in the middle of the oven. Okay, we may play with that a little bit later, but let's start out in the middle of the oven. That usually works out pretty good for me. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm just going to push some of this stuff aside, including the bread dough, and I'm just going to show you what I do with this. This is no big deal. Okay, we're going to do the ricotta, and you can't mess this. I was kind of hoping that this would have a little bit of water on the top. Now there may be a little bit of water on the bottom of it. We will see when we get there. Okay, so I was just going to say, if you guys do have a little bit of water on the top, or you have some water in the bottom of this that's puddled, drain that. Okay, put that in the sink. Get rid of that. You don't want too much moisture in here. Okay, this is real simple stuff here. Okay, Gobani is usually not too bad, actually. Their ricotta is pretty good. Okay, yeah, see, very little in the bottom, not much at all. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of mash this down. I don't know if I'm going to use all of this in this recipe. Okay, just like that. And then, I mean, it just can't be simpler, right? We're going to take some fresh parsley, and this is all by eye. You'll see what it looks like when I'm done with it, so you can kind of judge it like that if you want to. Okay, and what we're doing is we're just mixing this in. That's one of the reasons why. And two, we don't want it not mixed, because it becomes obviously a little bit creamier as you mix it, right? It's not as dense, and that's what we're looking for. It just adds a little something to the recipe, that's all. So when it's inside the calzone, it's nice and creamy. It mixes in with the mozzarella, right? It makes it nice. All right, that's it. That's all we're doing. If you guys want to add salt and pepper to that, you can. It's not necessary because it's not necessary for this particular recipe because we have mozzarella, we have Parmesan Reggiano, we also have some pepperoni. So I think the salt level is going to be good. You don't have to season this. All right, so I'm going to get going with the next part of this. We'll be right back. That's how you make the ricotta, the mixture, right? So on to the next step. We're going to bring our pizza dough in here. I also recommend you guys to take this out of the refrigerator, about an hour maybe prior to using it. All right, and you can see it's a little wet, it's a little moisture in it, which is totally normal. So what we're going to do, so it doesn't stick to the counter, make sure you guys sanitize your countertop too, right? You don't want to pick up little, well, I don't know, whatever. You just don't want to pick whatever it is there up on your bread dough. Okay, so really simple. There we go. Oven's preheated to 425. If you missed that and you were too busy grabbing a glass of wine, hey, grab a glass of wine. All right, and when you grab the glass of wine, and well, I don't know, I guess I'm in one of those moods today. Just grab a glass of wine, enjoy this, right? This is what we do. We do this every week. And we like doing this every week. We get good compliments and comments. And, we get some people out there that troll me. Which, people that really know me, that know my humor, know that I absolutely love that. All right, so here we're going to just take a rolling pin. And this is just the start of this. So we're just going to basically basically what we're doing is we're making just a small round pizza, right? And you just want it level. That's why I'm doing it like this and without my fingers. Now if that happens, you may need just a little bit more flour. Just throw some underneath there, flip it around, right? Just like this. All right, we're gonna roll it out a little more. We're gonna make one calzone out of this. Now, this doesn't have to be perfect. I don't even know. You don't even know how you want to make it. I don't know, 10 inches, make it 10 inches. But just make sure you make it thick enough that when you're going to fold it over, right? So that right there would probably be the size right now, unless I keep rolling this, about the size of the calzone, right? Okay. So we're going to stretch this out. Now, if you guys have a hard time stretching your dough, just leave it out a little bit longer, right? Just let the gluten do its thing. Sometimes when it's cold, it doesn't stretch out that good, but it'll stretch out for you. Don't get nervous. Don't get paranoid. Okay, everybody take a sip of the wine. Okay, now we're ready to go. All right, so here we go. This could be a very strange video. I don't know if you guys ever seen me in this mood before, but here we go. So we're gonna do these. We're gonna put a little. So, anyways, let's just show you. So that's about the size of the calzone that I'm making, right? I think that's good. All right. Just pull it a little bit more, just like this, just to give it one more little whack. Now that reminds me of something too. You guys that have been around on my channel know that I love the show Everybody Loves Raymond, right? And I just said whack because, well, it's part of my dialogue, I guess, because I'm Italian. So, and it reminds me of the day that Robert went on a date with his partner from the police department, and he didn't want to be alone on the date, or that's what it's meant to be, I guess, in the show. And Ray went with him, and he used the word whack, and I remember Raymond turning around and goes, "Robert, whack means something different to us." So, I don't know. If you've seen the video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's funny. All right, so we're going to just go mozzarella down. Okay. I told you it's going to be one of those videos. I'm either going to lose subscribers or maybe gain a couple. Who knows, right? Speaking about that, yeah, maybe a good time to subscribe if you like this silliness that I'm in today. All right, so And again, you can put whatever you want in this. You want to put, a lot of people like anchovies too. All depends on what you like. Put whatever you want. It's almost like a garbage bread, just kind of made a different way, right? All right. And now we're going to take some, on top of that, we're just going to take some Parmesan Reggiano. Yum, right? And there's no special way, no special way to put this in. Now we're going to top this with some Ricotta. I love this. Could eat this by the spoonful. All right, so we used about half of that container. So I'm going to say it's probably about 7 ounces. All right, let's do this. Just maybe even it out just a tad bit, just like this. This is going to be another great lunch for me today. All right, and now what we're going to do is we're going to top this off. We're probably not going to use that whole half a pound as well. Well, we might. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what we come up with. Don't go all the way to the edge, because you gotta kind of bind. You gotta mend this, right? So don't go. Yeah, we are. We're going to use a half a pound of mozzarella. Beautiful mozzarella. And then we're gonna go a little bit more with the Parmesan Reggiano. And you know, when I write this recipe for you guys, it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be one of those things where, you know, if I put down, you know, half a pound of mozzarella, it's gonna be, you know, if you guys make this and you think it's a little too much, whatever, you know, just back off it. You know, no biggie. Doesn't have to be exactly how I'm making it, but look at this monster. This thing is huge. All right, so we're gonna just, that's it right there. We're gonna end it with the Parmesan Reggiano. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'll be right back. I'm just gonna, actually, you know what, I'm gonna get just a small cup of water, super quick. Okay, reason for this, we're gonna take, just gonna take a couple fingers. We're just gonna, because as the dough sits here, it kind of dries out a little bit. So just around the edges, we're gonna do this, right? And this is just for, so you can mend this and keep it together. This is gonna be so good. All right, now just next thing is just folding it. Don't be afraid of this, okay? So we're just gonna take it just like this, keep your fingers underneath it, and we're just gonna pull it over, and we're gonna stretch it, and we're just gonna push down. Almost looks like a big pierogi, doesn't it? Yes, it does. And then I kind of do that. I don't know. Maybe you don't have to. It's just always the way I've done them. Now, okay. I'm going to turn it this way. And I'm going to show you guys. Now, I don't like to get left with a lot of dough over here, which I don't have a lot of dough, which is good. If you do, you just take a pizza cutter and give it a little trim, or get a knife and give it a little trim. Now, we can do this a couple of different ways. We could take the edges. Can you see that? No, you can't. Hold on a second. Let me back this off. There we go. All right, so you can either take the edges and turn them in like this. Right, just flip them over. That'll be pretty, you know, when it comes out. Well, maybe we'll, you know what? Maybe we'll do half like this. Just like that. Makes it look nice, right? All right. Let's get this bad boy over here. And then we can do like this as well, right? It's just to mend it. It's just keep everything in. Keep it tight, keep it nice. So when I pull it out, you can see, I'll just do that so you can see. And that's how I you guys watch my pierogi recipe, that's how I crimp my pierogies. Okay? All right, so, boy, this is one take. This is pretty good. Maybe not so much editing on this here, which would be nice. Okay, so we're gonna just take this and set this aside, and we're gonna bring in the old pan. What we're gonna do, we're gonna put a little bit of vegetable oil on it, and we're just gonna spread this around. Okay. You know, if you guys want to do this in a cast iron skillet, which basically that's all set, you could just pop it in a cast iron skillet. Make sure you oil it like this, just, you know, so it doesn't stick and it crusts up nice on the bottom. Now this won't tear or anything like that. Now it may leak, but it's not going to get crazy on you. All right, so I know you guys can't see this, and I'm sorry, but we're going to just manhandle it, and we're going to place it right down on our thing. We're going to take a sharp knife. We're just going to run a couple slits along the top. Just, that's why I said it may leak, and we're done. Okay, now also, so it gets a little, just take a couple drops of oil and take your brush again and just brush. Now you can also do this with, a nice light egg wash. Would work fantastic. Okay, so doing it this way, now remember, if you miss some of it, it's going to become a little dark, which is nice. I mean, it looks like it just came from a pizzeria. Okay, so that's it. That, little slits, 425. I'm gonna guess probably about 20 minutes or so. We'll show you what this looks like when this comes out. We're gonna clean this mess up, let this bake. We'll be back with you guys 25 minutes maybe. Oh, we're also gonna serve this with some of my homemade pizza sauce, which I'll put a link in the description below for you guys if you're interested in making that. All right, hang in there. We'll be right back, 25 minutes. Our calzone is just about done here, a couple seconds. There it is. Let me show you what this looks like. This is a thing of beauty. Let's see. Oh yeah. Now, your pan's gonna smoke a little bit just because you got the oil on it, but you know, don't panic. Look at this. Look at how gorgeous this is. This is beautiful. All right, so you guys that don't think that you can get, a beautiful cow, this thing's piping hot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take this off of the, actually I can do that right now. We're gonna take this, we're gonna let this cool a little bit actually from both sides. And we're going to replace this with one of my cooling racks here. I think that'd probably be the best thing. Oh, underneath it looks just like the top. Mud on. Look at that. Who's eating that? Hey, you ain't kidding. I'm eating that. Not the whole thing. But, all right, so there you go. 25 minutes. This is what my calzones look like. We're going to let this cool. And I do want to just explain one thing to you guys. The reason why it looks that I used oil for the top of this and not an egg wash, it's just my preference. You could egg wash it if you want to, and then it'll actually look like a pie, like an apple pie when you take this out, okay? It looks like this because of the oil. It almost, you know, it looks more like, you know, like a wood-burning stove, or like you actually got this from a pizzeria. Okay, but this is really, really hot. We're going to let this simmer. We're going to let this cool down for probably about 5 minutes. I'm going to come back with you guys. We're going to cut this, serve it with a little homemade pizza sauce, and then it's lunchtime. So there you go. Homemade calzone. See you in a couple minutes. Show you what the inside of this looks like. Let this cool down for 5 minutes. We're back to cut this open now. We let this cool for about, it's still pretty hot, so, but about 5 minutes or so, okay? Use a spatula or something. I'm just used to handling hot stuff. That's why I'm touching it. But, yeah, this is gorgeous. I mean, look at the bottom of this, right? Look at that. It's beautiful, all right? Okay, so here we go. Let's grab a knife, and then we're going to cut this open. Now, just for plating purposes or whatever, I'm only going to cut it in half, okay? But you can cut this in, you know, strips, threes, quarters, you know, thirds, whatever you guys want to do with it. All right, so let's see. Let's see what this looks like. Okay. Let's open this up. Oh. Woo-wee. Look at that. Look at that. All that mozzarella and the ricotta. Look at this. Still very hot. Look at that. Okay, so there is our calzone, and we're gonna kind of, I don't know, let's see, maybe do this. Yeah, see, that might ooze all out, but that's okay, because listen, that's what this is, right? It wouldn't be a calzone if you didn't get it to ooze a little bit. All right, so now what we're gonna do, I told you guys we had some pizza sauce, so I'm just gonna take my ramekin, and I don't know if you guys haven't seen my pizza sauce. This is what we're going to serve it with. Okay, this recipe is on my line too. On my line, it's on my whatchamacallit, on my YouTube channel. Just you can type it in, or I'll leave a link for it. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this. Oh, how beautiful is that? Oh, all gorgeous. Let's clean up some of this. Let's clean up some of this mess before we go in to get a. Let's just do this. Clean this up. I hope you guys make this. This is really, really a fabulous recipe. Just follow it to exactly what I did. I know a lot of you guys like what I do. I get great feedback and whatnot. Okay, so the only other thing we're going to do, and we're just doing, you don't even have to do it, right? We're just going to take a little bit of, we're just going to take a little Parmesan Reggiano, just for some color. You don't have to, like I said, you don't have to do it. Put a little bit of Parmesan on the top, and then we're gonna do this. That's it, just like that. How beautiful. What a beautiful meal right there. And we're just gonna just do this. Just like that. Bada bing. Okay. Alright guys, that's it. This is how I make my, I wish I could move that around, but I'm gonna cut into this. But this is how we make my calzone. It's a pepperoni, mozzarella cheese, ricotta, Parmesan Reggiano. You got a little bit of parsley inside there as well. Beautiful, beautiful dish. Okay, I'm going to come back. I'm going to grab a screenshot of this, or a thumbnail of this. I'm going to come back. You and I are going to taste this together. Be right back. Okay, so now we're back for the taste test. Let's grab a knife. Let's grab a fork. And let's break this down a little bit, right? Now you eat it just like that, just dip it in, right? Would be fantastic, actually. Okay, I'm just gonna put the sauce up there. We're We're going to cut into this so you guys can see a little bit more of this. Look at it. All right, let's give this a go. Let's see what we got. I already know what we got because I've made this before. Okay, a little pizza sauce on the side. Oh. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Wow. This is gorgeous. This tastes fantastic. I love the idea that I do when I mix up the ricotta and the parsley inside. It makes it a little bit more creamier. Look at how creamy that ricotta is after it gets hit with heat, and then after you turn around and mix it all up before we put it in the calzone. This is so good. All right, let's do this. Mm. Mm. Phenomenal. All right, guys. You guys like what I do? Hit that subscribe button. Ring that notification bell. Like it, share it with your friends. We do a recipe here every single week. I appreciate every single one of you guys supporting my channel. I think it's fantastic. Got lots of subscribers. We're doing very good there. Very pleased with the way this channel's working out. Okay, we're done here today. This is my lunch. I urge you guys, go ahead and make this. Until the next video, thank you again, and we will see you in the next video next week.